This is the injury report presented by NYU Langone Health. The New York Liberty have the best record in basketball, and they're pretty healthy as a squad, but center Nyara Sabally has missed some time with a back injury. So in today's injury report, we have Dr. Guillem Gonzalez-Lomas back to talk about Sabally's back and when she can get back on the court. Doc, welcome back, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Lots of backs, but yeah, I'm good.
All right, something ain't right here, Doc, because she's been on the injury report since June 2nd, but the team keeps listing her as day-to-day. The math just ain't mathing here. They haven't exactly listed what's wrong with her, but could something be going on in her back that's worse than what they're saying or not saying?
Well, you know, when I hear day-to-day, I'm generally pretty reassured, right? So day-to-day means they've done an evaluation and they feel like this is more of a pain issue than a structural problem. So generally good thing, but of course, everyone responds differently to the training room, to rest, to rehab. So it could be that she's just taking a little bit longer to recover from something like a muscular injury. Not uncommon for the back to be like that, but it could be that there's something else brewing. So hard to know, but certainly the fact that she's still listed as day-to-day would be reassuring to me.
Part of me, though, Doc, is like, come on now. It's just a back injury, and you're being listed day-to-day since June 2nd. That's over a month. As if I was a leader on the team, I'd be like, look, you need to get back there on the court. And I understand how athletes need the back muscles and the core muscles to be effective on the court. But this isn't the first time a hooper has had back problems. So can you kind of tell us, how does this limit her as a hooper?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to mess with the back too much. And you said it, you know, so the back is as critical as the core muscles. You've got two big columns of muscles on either side of the spine, actually called the paraspinal muscles, and they're critical. They're very important postural muscles. They're very important for explosive movement. So a lot of us may have actually experienced something like throwing our backs out, and that's basically a strain of those paraspinal muscles. But just imagine that, but now in a professional elite athlete, big, strong, and also when she plays against other big and strong players. Add a ball in there, there's a lot of chaos that can ensue. So you can have injuries to these muscles. They are hard to rehab. They're always working. They're hard to rest. So it's not one of those things that you want to rush into. These are muscles that oftentimes can get re-injured very easily. You want her pretty much to be back to normal before she gets back on the court.
We're talking about a player who would kind of struggle with injuries at her first 2 years at Oregon, then was able to put two really strong seasons together at Oregon. Hadn't played much professionally just yet. So when doctors and team trainers are monitoring her, how hard is it going to be for her to recover from this injury, since it's such a part of the body to rest? And when do you know when someone is truly ready to return from a back injury?
Yeah, I mean, that's the million-dollar question. And I think, again, this is not the type of injury you want to rush. You want to make sure that she's doing all the right things in the training room. You want to make sure that she's titrating her return to play. So whether that's, you know, individual training or practice, she's not overdoing it and slowly getting back into play. Like we talked about, it's a tough muscle to rest, or a tough part of the body to rest. So you don't want to completely leave it inactive, because, you know, this muscle can get atrophied. The disuse aspect of it is not good either. You kind of want to Goldilocks it. So just stress it enough so you're not aggravating it, but enough that it's allowed to rehab and strengthen again. You know, what I would say is, slowly but surely, cautiously get her back. She'll know when she's ready. And really, for return to play, you want her to effectively be pain-free with practice, because we know that game forces are 30% plus greater than during practice. So you want her to be already comfortable in practice, because, you know, she'll see a lot more stress during the game.
When you talk about the amount of stars on this roster and the fact that she hadn't been able to play that much this season, do you think that team doctors and trainers should kind of talk to players on the team to kind of manage the expectations of when they're going to want her back? Because I imagine people are putting pressure on her to get out there and to really show why she was the 5th overall pick taken in the 2022 WNBA draft.
That's always a concern, and when we're taking care of our athletes, it's always this sort of pressure that in the background. But in the end, and you and I have talked about this before, times have changed. Right now, what we want is these athletes to have as healthy a career and a life as possible. The days of just putting some dirt on it and just playing and breaking through the wall and potentially hurting yourself more and shortening your career, those days are gone. These are people that we want to enjoy watching them play for their entire career and as long a career as possible. So that is obviously something that's always in the background, but ultimately you have the player's health as your priority. That's your primary concern. And I'm sure she wants to get back as soon as she can. So the trainers want her back as soon as they can. The fans want her back as soon as they can. Everyone's on the same page. Just have to give her a little bit of time to recover and get back when she's fully ready.
I'm going to go back and watch this interview and see and count the amount of times me and you said back. I want to put the over-under at like 40 right now. Thanks, Doc, for coming on, and can't wait to have you back on.
Can't wait to be back.